don't stop, they keep going. Hey, you can lose your life, but it gon' keep going. Why not risk life when it's gon' keep going? Yeah, when you die, somebody else was born, but at least we got to say we ran on the vision, we ran on the money, we ran on the vision, we ran on that money.
And welcome to PFC Summit Series 2. My name is Craig Campbell, and joining me back on the mic after a long hiatus from the Peak Cage, Emily Dakota. Very nice to have you.
Thanks.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm really excited for these fights. Peak always puts on great cards, so this is going to be a good night.
And guys, we are right into the action tonight. No playing around. 15 fights, a few title fights coming in on our main card. We'll fill you in on that. But right now, Nathan Coe coming into his AMI and Peak debut at 155 pounds, 0-0 as mentioned. A striker fighting out of Oklahoma City by way of Carlsbad, California, out of American Top Team, Oklahoma City. Guys, debuts are always fantastic. They're always fun, but we get a little insight tonight because somebody does know a little bit about them. I have a blank sheet here because it's always a blank sheet, but maybe we have a little insight tonight.
Yes, Nate trains at my gym, and he's just really fun. I'm really excited to see what he does tonight. He's kind of like a real creative guy. He likes to flow and just kind of sees where he ends up in training, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, looks ready to go. And making his way to the cage, Christopher Simmons, also in his amateur and Peak debut, coming in at 155. An 0-0 Muay Thai fighter out of Lubbock, Texas, by way of Fort Worth, Texas, out of Victory Combat. And now here we have a little bit of a true AMI, although we do know a little bit about his camp. Mateo Gonzalez and a few other fighters having frequented the PFC cage, so we know he'll be well-rounded and prepared for all aspects of the game. But another unknown, so very exciting, and we're about to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, this should be a good debut fight. I believe this was a catchweight as well.
Yeah, I was noticing that as I called that out. They don't give me all the updated info from weigh-ins, unfortunately.
Right.
Sometimes I gotta wait for the tail of the tape. We might get that, we might not. But that said, Simmons into the cage and ready to make his debut. Both guys looking very fit, longer, taller for the weight class, regardless of the catch weight. And we'll take it in here to Chad for the official announcement.
Shawnee, Oklahoma, are you ready for your first bout of the evening? All right, love to hear it. This Summit Series 2 bout is presented by Evermore, the official water of Peak Fighting. It is scheduled for 3 rounds at a catch weight of 150 pounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a striker making his PFC debut. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 149.3 pounds. Fighting out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, by way of Carlsbad, California, this is Nate Coe. And his opponent across the PFC cage, fighting out of the red corner, he is a Muay Thai fighter also, making his PFC debut. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 147.8 pounds, fighting out of Lubbock by way of Fort Worth, Texas, introducing Chris Simmons. The referee in charge of the action, Marcio La Selva.
And Guys, this is what the Summit Series is all about. Debuts, getting an opportunity to get into the big cage and start their career off. And here we have it, our first match of the night. Off to a very quick start. Inside leg kick there from Ko. Returned with big shots from Simmons. Takes him down, charging forward with his 2 right into side control.
Nate is pretty crafty on the ground from bottom, so let's see what he's able to.
Going for that buggy, but gets lifted up out of it. Again,
Pretty
very crafty. Yeah, already. Very high-paced here already.
A small feeling out process for these 2 debuts, so that's off to a very fast start.
Common, but settling in here now. Both guys looking for their range. Simmons finding that too.
He's landing that too. He's catching that kick, sending that right down the middle. He's done that 2 or 3 times. Looks like a difference of striking style. One's more Muay Thai, Nate's a little bit looser with his stance, a little bit more relaxed, so needs to be careful with that leg kick.
Very good takedown defense. The leg was caught, jammed to the cage. Now, chain wrestling off the single leg, looking for that pick.
Let's see if he gets that finish. He's able to get it.
Nice. Nice to the wrist wrap
He's
there.
looking to get that wrist. Yes, that would be some good control.
Simmons finds himself in a rough spot here early into round 1. His wrist is controlled from the backside now. Ko can fire away.
Yes, that's a good opportunity to take the back, get those hooks in.
Hooks in, RNC looking to be dug.
He needs to make sure, though, if he's going to rotate to stay on top
Very
or to
quick,
transition into
palm to
mount.
palm. He's already got those hooks in.
Do you see? Is it under the neck?
I
He's
cannot
working
tell.
For it. A little bit of ground and pound here. Maybe he's trying to get him to lift his chin.
With only a minute 10 left here in the first round, a very fast action and pace. Ko looking to find the finish.
This is a good spot for Nate. He was having a little bit of trouble standing, so taking it to the ground might be his best path to victory tonight.
Simmons out of the immediate danger, but finds him in a worse position here, mounted.
Simmons doing kind of like a lockdown from mount, kind of just trying to avoid the ground and pound here.
And the biggest lull of the fight here. A little bit of control now, a little grappling, understanding that damage can come down. Woo, first round. Okay, come on now. 3 minutes can't go by that fast. The adrenaline can't last all night like this.
Oh my gosh.
A great opening round here, 30
is
seconds
good.
left.
This is good, yes. I think the difference in striking styles, Simmons was getting the better standing, so I think Nate,
Yes.
made the smart decision, take it down, and was able to get this great top control. Short time here. He's posturing up, ground and pound.
Big strikes from Ko, trying to solidify this round. Nice strikes from the top.
Yeah, it was a good way to finish round 1 for Nate. I think he needs to make some adjustments. Those naked kicks were getting countered every time, so I'd like to see him put something in front of that.
Yeah, even a feint.
Something
right in front of it.
Not a naked kick. Sometimes you'll get caught right down the middle, and that'll hurt.
But I will say, as soon as he was not even out of danger, as soon as he realized he knew the counter, it was like, oh yeah, here we are, you're in my world. So
yes.
Definitely needs to get it back into his world, and if he can do that with some feint entries, maybe even just some what we call throwaway punches to get inside and get close, that'd be fantastic. And man, some good ground and pound landed there at the end. Maybe nothing too flush, but when you're debuting under the big lights, those
Kind of
rattle
testing
you.
it out. You're testing it out,
Yeah. Awesome first round there.
Good first round. Nate was able to get that reversal too because it was actually Simmons that started that takedown on the wall. So let's see if we get into that scramble again.
And for the striker, showed some very nice chain wrestling. Pretty much, American top team. Come on, the pedigree's there, obviously.
Let's see, Nate's putting some pressure.
And, it'd be interesting to see if Simmons really just relies on that big left because it was landing, or his right, excuse me.
Yes, he did land that several times.
Again.
Nate's hands are a little bit low. I think that's why that 2 is having so much success, just coming right over the top of his guard. I think Simmons is also looking to time that. He's not throwing too much. He's waiting for Nate to come in, and he's landing that overhand right over the top. So it's a good read for him.
It's a crazy 0-0 fight.
This is, yeah. There's not a lot of, waiting around here. They're just getting right to it.
Yeah, they're really a lot of feints, a lot of motion and movement here. Ko really taking the advice from his corner and putting more in behind it. And really more active, just his whole stance and angles.
He's putting some good pressure right now. I think maybe he's trying to work it to the cage so he can take a shot. Let's see if he's trying to set up something there.
Yeah, much more patient round. Big shot there, lands for
That
Ko.
was great.
Follows it up.
Let's see if he takes a shot here. This would be perfect timing. Simmons was right along the cage. Okay, he takes a shot. He's able to get the finish.
Rips those legs out. Going for wrist control again. Off to that body lock. Very nice position with the head.
Simmons trying to build up. He's almost up.
Yeah, but he's got that wrist locked already. So now he can free that left hand.
And he can reshoot. Let's see if Simmons is able to use the wall and stay up. This is good here. Doing a little bit of punches to set up the takedown. Sometimes if you go straight for that takedown, you're not able to get it. You got to set it up a little bit.
Ooh, right into a triangle.
triangle.
Yeah, but not connected. Out easily.
Passes right to side control. Let's see what happens here.
And with 45 seconds left here in our second round, Simmons finds himself in a very, very similar place to the end of round one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's looking like Simmons on bottom is trying to lock down instead of work out. So,
yeah.
Right here, if you're on bottom, I'd be looking to push that knee,
into
get
that
back
full mount.
to half. But he's just getting that head. He's just trying to lock it down, prevent Nate from posturing up and landing some ground and pound.
Well, we're going to get an early look into the mindset of the judges tonight in terms of how takedowns factor in, especially in this round, because it was much more of a striking battle with takedowns. If they, I would say this is a very clear round for Ko.
This was good. It was good. I think he was putting really good pressure before the takedown.
Yes.
Even hurt him with 1 or 2 shots, got him backed up to the cage, and then was able to get that takedown. So I agree. I think Nate, edged that round out. First was a little bit closer. Simmons
with
was landing a lot of the overhands.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. We will see, what the judges are looking at tonight.
Because I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right.
I've learned that. I've too many times said like, oh, this is the thing. And then the judges are like, do you even watch fights?
Yes.
And I'm like, well.
That's a hard topic, right? That the judging is so hard.
People don't appreciate, I think, especially I've said this many times, if you actually sit here and realize, I sit cage side and I will still watch the monitor frequently because it's a better view.
It is.
And as a judge, if I can't see what's happening directly behind you, I misjudge a lot of things.
I agree.
So hard. And like the referee came over, said, be nice to us, sir. We're always nice to the referee. That's a rough job now.
It is. It all is.
I've said my piece a few times, but generally it's pretty egregious.
It is.
And here we are, round 3 of our opening bout. Ko and Simmons putting on a show here, nonstop action.
This is a great first fight, really opening up the card with some fast-paced action. That was a good leg kick there. Again, Nate's not really setting up these leg kicks. Simmons was looking in the first round, was countering those really well.
I just like the volume that's coming from Ko. I always tell guys it's better to be putting something in somebody's face and touching them.
I agree.
And you can see now it's harder for Simmons to find that range.
And the pressure, too. So I like the pressure and volume. It's got Simmons on his back foot. And Simmons has a good guard. I like his frame. He's blocking a lot of these, but some of them are getting through.
And with 2 minutes left here in our final round, Ko definitely the aggressor here and kind of pulling away here in his debut. See if Simmons can make a stand and possibly find himself a finish.
Looked like Nate was looking for the takedown in each round, so I'm wondering if he's going to try to back him up to the cage again. I think in the second round that was his best takedown.
Nice shot from both guys, inside kick and a 2 over the top. Barely blocked there from Simmons. Barely missed by both guys again.
Oh my gosh, they're really going hard in this last round. They're putting everything into these punches. think Simmons is really looking for that too.
Big shot from Simmons. He
Lands a
cracks
big-
Ko. Ko, little wobbled, looking for his takedowns. Simmons engages, and I'd like to see him back away.
Simmons is jumping on this, but it looks like he's going to end up on bottom.
Oh, no.
He had him hurt there for a second. He really needed some space.
And Ko does the right thing, gets to where he knows he can dominate. And with a minute left, a move to mount and ground and pound can take everything Simmons just did away.
Yes. It looked like, Simmons needed to stand up like we were talking about, because even when he instigated the takedown this whole fight, Nate was able to kind of reverse his takedown. So that's something to work on.
And, geez, to be able to even criticize these guys on their debuts is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, they've been
great fight overall. Right now,
they've really mixed it up very well. Some striking, some wrestling, some grappling.
Simmons got the ground advantage clearly.
Yes.
And did some great timing.
He needs to posture up. He needs to look to posture up here. It's really hard to land that big ground and pound when your head is kind of sucked down, so Simmons is really trying to prevent that, but Nate needs to posture up and punch here. Short time.
Big shots.
Big shots.
5 seconds left.
He's going hard for that finish. Simmons is hanging on. He's doing really good scrambling.
And what a debut from both of these guys.
That was an excellent debut fight.
Ko looked fantastic. He a little disappointed, never should be. It's always harder to get in there and do it against a guy, especially as Simmons.
He got
fight.
rocked,
Yeah,
and sometimes you need that.
did.
You need to get rocked. If you've never fought before, you don't really quite understand. Someone's coming to knock your head off. So, you got hurt, you felt it, and you were able to land in top position and finish out the round really well.
You have multiples of my fights, but every time that you get in there, it gets a little bit easier to deal with certain things. You anticipate certain things. Certain things never get easy, but you realize 100% in the cage is different than training.
Yes. Oh, it's
a different level,
yes.
So they got that taste. Look at Simmons, exhausted, putting his heart and soul into that one.
They both gave it everything. That was a really good, fight to open up the card.
You see both corners congratulating their guys. We are going to wait for the judges a moment sooner, but I'm sure we'll be sending it in for the decision. And again, I would like to hear the scores.
Yes.
Gives me a little insight. Because if we hear something wild, I'll be like, oh man.
Yes, let's see what the judges are looking at.
And here we are to Mr. Chad for our official announcement.
All right, fight fans, before we go to the judges' scorecards, a round of applause for both these athletes, please. All three judges score this contest 30-27 for your winner. By way of unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Nate Ko!
And I think little surprise there, and goes to show, okay, hey, we're in Oklahoma. The takedown matters.
They're valuing the
Home
wrestling.
of the takedown.
Yes.
Hey, we've been in some, Texas and some of these other states. It hurts my soul sometimes.
I know. It's rough.
They're like 27, 29. I'm like, oh, are you kidding? 28. What?
I know. I feel, judging is such a hot topic. But I think they did get that right today. And, I thought he did win 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
That's not.
Great fight.
A really good debut. Again, they hit everything. A lot of striking, a lot of wrestling, and a lot of grappling. And I think both guys will have learned a lot from that.
So, guys, Summit Series obviously trying to bring you that next generation of AMI. We got a lot of debuts coming up here, but we always want to thank some of those never-ending sponsors. Evermore, the official Water of Peak Fighting Championships, and some of the best water you can get, baby. Every time I come to Peak, I steal a bunch of bottles.
I've been drinking it right now, and I've been liking it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good.
It's very good. So we're going to be moving into the second fight of the night. And I read the card wrong constantly, but I'm hoping I'm looking at this right. We got the ladies early in the night. I like it when we put the ladies earlier in the night because this is a fact in Peak. It's a fact. The women show out.
I'm telling you. There's 3 girls fights tonight, so I'm really excited. Those are,
And before I get too excited, watching a couple of these highlights, you know, there were some moments there where Simmons had some shots, but
he hurt him. He
Yeah,
did.
he
Simmons did have him hurt there.
He did.
in the last round. So it was a good, you know, decision to wrestle for Nate.
I've been in this position where you're like, I could posture up and try to hit him, but I could definitely just hold him
Yes. Short time, maybe I'll just
here.
I'll just hang on.
You know, just your coach is like, ground and pound, ground and pound. And you're like, yeah.
10 seconds left.
Just chill, coach, chill. Ooh, that big one right there. A couple more touches.
That must have been that last one.
Coming up next, Andrea Palmer.